This out. On Friday, March 8th, 2024, Anthony Joshua will take on Francis Ngannou in a heavyweight clash. And I believe this is a fight that's a lot closer than people think. Now, Francis Ngannou got his claim to fame by knocking down Tyson Fury in their bout last October, which was a close fight. A close fight that Tyson Fury won. I had it 6-4, but that was an embarrassing, not only for Fury, but for the sport of boxing. That was just an embarrassing display from one of the world champions in the heavyweight divisions to get knocked down by an MMA fighter in his debut match. So for Anthony Joshua, the mission is pretty much clear. Beating Francis Ngannou is not going to be enough. He's going to need to get a stoppage, which was set up nicely for a Tyson Fury mega bout, regardless of who wins the Fury Usyk fight. Because let's be honest, Anthony Joshua does not want to see Alexander Usyk in another fight. If he fights that man again, he's definitely retiring from the sport of boxing, never to be seen or heard from again. So for Anthony Joshua, it would be in his best interest to get a stoppage this fight and hope for a Tyson Fury victory versus Usyk to maximize on the dollar potential of that fight. Ngannou, on the other hand, already has a fight lined up for the PFL after this fight. And after his last fight, he netted around 10 million. And for this fight, I'm hearing reports that he's going to get around 20 million. So Ngannou already proved himself by knocking down Tyson Fury. So the question really is the motivation still there? MMA fighters don't get paid like this. So will the hunger to prove himself be pertinent against a fighter who will be considered lower on the totem pole than a Tyson Fury? As the great Marvin Hagler said, it's hard to wake up and do road work at 5 a.m. if you're sleeping in silk pajamas. So we'll see how Ngannou look coming into this fight. The overall game plan for Joshua will be to take this fight into deep waters and drown Ngannou in the process. From his last fight, Ngannou, his stamina, it wasn't that great. He began to fade in the second half of the Tyson Fury fight. Punches started to become more sloppy, not as sharp as they were early on. On top of that, Ngannou is 37 years old, so that vehicle of a body he has definitely got some miles on it. Joshua should also use a nice consistent body attack. That should be one of his main focuses. And Ngannou doesn't move much, so he's going to be a stationary target for Joshua, which is a tailor-made style for him because his last three opponents have basically been that. But Ngannou has the X factor of freakish power, which will play an important role in this fight, at least in the first 5 rounds. And despite the great matchmaking that Anthony Joshua has had recently, that man is still chinny. If Ngannou can land that left hook clean, it might be a short night for Joshua. And Ngannou should also pull out that southpaw stance again. Primarily, that should be his main thing, probably going 70-30, 70 in favor of the southpaw stance. Now, he might not necessarily have the skills of Usyk, but in the Tyson Fury fight, he was able to neutralize Fury's jab in the southpaw stance. He was able to set up his 1-2 properly. He was also able to get off that left hook to counter with the left hook in that stance. So that definitely should be a stance that he goes into quite often in this fight. Joshua can sometimes become predictable with his rhythm when jabbing. I might even add that he's lazy at times when he's throwing out that jab. So if he's not careful, he might find himself in a world of trouble, and Ngannou can't throw that left hook at him. And it would be in Francis Ngannou's best interest to want to end this fight early. The longer this fight goes, the more it favors Anthony Joshua. So the prediction that I have for this fight is Anthony Joshua by 7th round TKO. I believe Anthony Joshua understands what's at stake. He shouldn't rush the KO, but he shouldn't be timid either. In these last few Anthony Joshua fights, he has been gun shy. He has had punching opportunities against opponents and he just wouldn't take them. So he need to let that right hand go and he needs to come at this guy, but he also needs to be defensively responsible. Ngannou's power and Joshua's chin is what gives this fight an element of unpredictability. But we'll see how this plays out. Peace.